From Dodge City, Kansas to Van Horn, Texas. From Denver, Colorado to Buffalo, New York. Let's ride. We want to ride shotgun with you for the next hour. Talkin Truckin with Dean and Doty, Ray and Kumar, and Big Tom Batness. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
What's up?
Welcome to episode 63. 63
cool.
Episodes. Did you ever think we'd get this far into the mic? Air horn. That's funny.
63.
What's up, Tom? It's about time you get back on the show.
Yeah. You didn't work me like a beep. Fine.
Joining us on the show, like I said, Tom, in studio, the famous Kumar.
Hello.
Ian Dunlap on the news.
Hello.
Joel Howell with the sports and questions with trucking questions with Kumar.
Hello.
And Ray Nieto.
Nayato.
Hey, what's up?
Nieto. I did spell it wrong once, but in an article.
A few times.
Ray's at home. He just came back from vacation. We got Jesse, our driver, using his truck because we're getting a clutch in it. So I asked Ray to come on screen since he's at home. And then Jim Mackey. Where are you at, Jim?
I'm sitting in Cedar Rapids, Iowa at the International Shop waiting to get my truck work done.
Okay, good. And Nate?
What's going on? I'm
Shelbyville, Indiana.
Brinkley, Arkansas.
Okay, good. Glad you're not home. We need to start making some money on you. Right, Tom?
Yeah. So, are you married?
What?
What now?
You get married? Tell us.
No, I'm not. I went to a buddy of mine's wedding over this last weekend, so I was actually in the wedding.
He's not that stupid, Tom. Kevin, what's up, bud?
Damn married people.
Going on, everybody?
Where are
I'm
you at, Kevin?
right outside of New Orleans, Louisiana.
The French Quarter.
Down in the bayou.
And you see Joel Howell on screen, like I said, speaking of marriage. Joel's getting married in about, what, a month?
Yeah, he taught me out of it. About 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, we got 6 weeks to work on him.
Don't talk to Nathan.
Oh, me.
Guys, don't forget about our fishing contest. $500 for first place, ends Labor Day. Tom will probably be getting stock pictures off of Google with the biggest sharks you can find, sending them in. We'll watch for that. $350 for, is it $350 or $3 for second place? I always forget.
On this show, it goes up.
It's one or the other.
I think it's 350.
$350 for second place, I believe, and then $150 for third. Ray, did you catch any fish at South Padre Island?
You know, I did. It's sad. You know, I
300
took
for
all of my
second.
fishing gear. I took all of my fishing gear and didn't go. I didn't get a chance to go fishing. I was having too much fun doing other things.
$100 worth of
Yeah.
bait and it all died.
He never left the grill.
I got
went
a lot
with
of help
my-
this year on the grill.
Did
This
you?
year I had a lot of help. Yeah, I had a lot of help. So I did have a little bit more free time, but we ended up doing other things with
Yeah.
that free time. So it was sad. I took everything I needed to go fishing, and I never once got out there to go fishing.
I went a couple years ago to South Padre to Ray's family reunion, and Ray has the whole barbecue kit. I mean, the leather chef's suit, gloves up to his elbows, all kinds of tools. He got a tool bag for the grill.
Yeah,
I saw the pictures.
It's pretty impressive.
Treat it like golf.
All he did was grill the whole time, too. Everywhere we went. Even at the
Yeah.
beach, he had a whole setup, pulled it out of his truck, grilling.
You got fish? Go give me my ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
we did. I did take the kayak out on the ocean, and it was very rough with the kayak. I tell you that.
Yeah.
Have you ever like hit some waves in the kayak, like going into shore?
Yeah, I actually took on too much water, and I had to bail.
Did you have your floaty with you to
Right.
save
And
you?
your Miller Lite.
No, I didn't.
That's funny.
Yeah, it had a lot of fun though, for sure.
So, like I said, don't forget the fishing contest. Send your pictures to talkintruckin@gmail.com or just text them to anyone on the show. Put them on Facebook, TikTok,
Instagram.
Yep. Or YouTube. Trucking news with Ian today. We got a little freight market update. Christian's on vacation, so he won't be with us this week. Speaking of that, Kumar, you got something you want to throw up there for Christian?
I do. Here it is.
So,
Don't throw up, please.
throw up. Happy birthday to CJ Sneed, last year's #1 fishing contest prize. CJ turned 16, and that's Christian and CJ are out doing some fishing and on vacation. So, happy birthday, CJ. He watches the show, and he'll be surprised when we put that up.
Happy birthday. And also, happy birthday to Jim Mackey on Friday.
Mackie.
Hey,
Mackie.
happy birthday, Mackie.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Jim,
Yeah,
are they going to
on
take your
Friday.
license because you're turning 95?
No, not yet. They threatened, but not yet.
They're gonna let him keep it for another year.
No more Epovic needed for that photo.
Well, like I said, Wide World of Sports with Joel Howell. And then Drivers Battle. Kumar with trucking and fishing questions with Kumar. So with that said, today I wanted to talk a little bit about maintenance and what you think what an owner-operator you should put away, whether it's in your company's reserve, whether it's in your own reserve. The way we do it here, you have an option to do it either way. So it's up to you. We don't require anything. But some guys just take it out and have it put in the reserve at Meadowlark. Some guys save it. Some guys use credit cards. But we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then a few of us kind of give you an idea of what we spend a year on maintenance on trucks. So maybe that'll shed some light on how much you need. Because let's face it, this is a business, and you're not going to go into business doing anything else without some kind of money set aside in case your business breaks. If whatever it is, if you're a printing company and your printing press breaks, you can't print. You're going to go broke if you can't fix it. Same thing as trucking. The Paul Healy was going to join us. We've raised $1,016 for St. Christopher's. Paul Healy was going to join us this week, but something came up, so he's going to come on next week and accept that. So we'll do that next week. And so Tom.
Hey.
He's texting.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I heard that.
He's for sure texting.
So Tom, you've been doing this for 100 years. What do you think? And you've owned a lot of trucks. You've drove. What do you think a guy should put aside for his maintenance account, for his regular maintenance and breakdowns?
I don't know, if possible, you should try to do 10% a week if you can. I know it's tough right now because of the fuel and the wonderful cheap freight, but 10% is kind of a minimum.
Yeah.
Need to get it up. A guy should try to get up to 5 to 10 grand over a period of time if you can. It's tough, but
Do you have an idea, Tom, on one of your trucks let's just say over the last year, in a year, what approximately you would spend on regular maintenance, PMs and such, and then breakdowns? If you had to guess, I know I didn't give you a look ahead what we were going to talk about, but
I don't know. Look at PMs. You're looking about 4 to 5 grand a year just in PMs, and then you're looking at another 5 grand. It's got to do tires, and I don't know. That's why I'm saying that 5 to 10 grand needs to be separate from your PMs, I think.
Yeah.
Because
so if you get a PM, let's just say $500. Let's just round it. Every 2 months, that's what is that? $6 grand. Yeah, $6 grand. I couldn't think. So there's $6 grand right there, just in regular maintenance.
And if you break that down, like if you break it down between your maintenance and tires, I mean, you figure you're probably at around just on that with no repairs or anything. You probably had about $1,000 a month but at the end of the year, between you figure, a tire blows out or you got to replace a couple tires, your PMs, whatever, you're probably somewhere between that 10 to 12 grand a year just on basic maintenance.
Ray, what did you spend? Did you kind of get a number together on your truck?
For who?
You.
Oh, for me, yeah, I got a couple of numbers on here. So the way I figured it out, this is on I got these numbers on a 2017 T680, and that's the truck that my driver's driving. I can say that I'm not including maintenance on this at all, because that would probably add another 4,000 maybe, if that. But so anyways, I got about $10,000 into this truck in maintenance, and that's I sorted a list here. I got coolant leaks, alignment, fan clutch, solenoid. I replaced all the tires on it, an alternator, all my batteries, air leaks, and an EGR valve. That's just right off the top of my head in 1 year.
Yeah.
And one of the things I do want to say about tires, especially tires, are extremely expensive and they're not getting any cheaper. One of the recommendations that I really put out there to everybody that I talk with is, if you see uneven wear on your tires, just get your truck aligned, because otherwise you're going to put brand new tires on it and you're going to be running the same problem over and over again. It's just a vicious cycle that, it's better to go have your truck aligned, check all your steering components, your tie rod ends, kingpins, bushings. You have to have all that stuff looked at, and it's well worth it. I spent $350 on alignment through MD Alignment, and the last time Michael's truck was in the shop, I let him use my truck, so I drove his truck. And when I drove his truck out of the parking lot to go get it washed, I realized that it was pulling real hard to the right, like it wanted to go to the ditch.
Yeah.
So I called him up and like, hey, what's going on with this truck, man? And he's all like, oh, I don't know. I was like, did you hit some? He said he claims he didn't hit nothing. He claims nothing happened out of the ordinary. So whatever, it is what it is. But my gripe on that was, if you feel a truck pulling, you need to say something or get it fixed.
You're gonna wear out the tires.
Yeah. So I ended up putting brand new steers on it, and they weren't that old to begin with. The originals weren't that old to begin with. I put a brand new set of steers and I had it aligned. And it's been driving fine now. So but it's very important, get it aligned. If you have any doubt, get it aligned.
And I'm with you. I'm almost dead on with you on your amount. So the truck that I kind of pulled some figures on, Mike and I split this, and we paid cash for it. So it's both of our truck, and we got a company driver in it. We've got, between maintenance, PMs, repairs, tires, fan hub, a clutch we're doing right now, so that's included, and some miscellaneous stuff. We're right at 14 grand in a year, basically.
No more than that.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
if you go
and
ahead,
there was
Mike.
a couple repairs above and beyond regular maintenance. There was the fan hub and things like that. But yeah, so I mean that 10 to 12 grand for regular maintenance, then you throw in a couple repairs, fan hub, and a clutch. I mean,
You're right there.
Yeah.
So let's say that 14 grand is same number for Ray, and even Tom said that around that 10 grand figure, but not including your PMs and stuff. So Tom would be right there with us. The 14 grand in a year divided by 52 weeks, that's about 270 a week is what you need to put away. And I do put away a little more than that. I haven't lately because with the price of fuel doubling, I'm paying my driver and there's nothing left. So, but I have money set aside. So before, and Ray, you do too, and Mike does. When the fuel doubled, and Tom, you know what I'm talking about, the fuel doubled, we're not making much, and we're not making anything. We're just getting by. But we have maintenance accounts. We have money if something breaks. My clutch went out. I got to pay it. It's there. It's not a problem. Because all of last year, all the year before, we've set aside, whether it's in your own account or through payroll, but we've set aside money. Ray had 10 grand. I know you don't mind me saying, Ray. He had 10 grand in his maintenance account like a month ago, and you had a pretty good size repair. And
that was on my truck, by the way. That was on the truck that I drive. Yeah, I replaced the clutch. Yeah, I replaced the clutch and did all kinds of other maintenance to it. I mean, if you see it out there on the road, and it's got to get fixed, get it down. Make a plan that whenever you get down to your mechanic, get it all done while you can. Yeah. Even if it costs you a bunch of money up front, but when you're out, if that truck breaks down on you, it's going to be more expensive. So the idea is to get it done at home with your home mechanic.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind me saying, go ahead. I just wanted to say one more thing though.
No, do it.
So that all of the money that I'm accounting for is about 10K. I do have a reserve account with Meadowlark, but all of this money I paid for out of my pocket. I didn't touch that reserve account. And I think that helps because you just never know when you're going to need that money. And I just set it and forget it. $250 a week going to that reserve account, and every time I can get that truck anchored right back to San Antonio, all the repairs that are done here, I pay out of pocket. I pay it out of my pocket.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You could run into anything. You can have those minor repairs plus your maintenance and PMs, and then you have a major repair. Then that one hits.
So all the repairs I try to have done here, I pay out of pocket, and that reserve is just for there's places where he may break down, and they won't let me pay for it with a credit card over the phone. So at least we know that we have that reserve there for those occasions.
Yeah. So Nate, you and Kevin, what do you think you're spending a year in maintenance and repairs?
Be honest with you, I'd have to say it's around the same as you.
Yeah.
I think mine might be a little bit more, because just off the top of my head, I think I go 17.
Yeah.
Just off the top of my head on stuff I've done, because I regular PMs. I did all 2 wheel seals or 3 wheel seals, and then so I mean I've replaced my batteries, so around 15, 16.
Yeah, and there are years I know Nate or Ray and I have talked about this over the years, and Dodie, I'm sure you're aware too, that there's years that you'll have a truck that you plan on spending that 12 to 14 on, and you end up spending just PMs. And there's guys on our fleet that have got lucky and didn't really have anything. And I've had years like that, and it's great because you can go into the next year with a surplus. You can because you didn't spend it. But but if you plan for that, I think you'll be all right. What about you, Kevin? Do you think you've spent about the same? And Kevin, you do a lot of work yourself too. So
I was gonna say I spent somewhere around a little over 13,000 last year, but they would have probably been up closer to 15 or 16,000 if I would have took it to a shop and done it. Yeah. I mean, I just replaced my alternator yesterday in Love's parking lot.
Yeah. And that's a normal day for you. He's always replacing something in somebody's parking lot.
I've been here lately.
Charge right there.
Yeah,
Jim?
once you get up to them about over 600,000 miles, you gotta know that your alternator, your batteries are like every 1 to 2 years, anyways. I swap all 4 every year and a half to 2 years.
Yeah, your water pump.
Yeah.
So Jim Mackey, you think you're probably up there around the same year in, year out?
Yeah, I'm probably about the same. Don't have numbers in front of me, but I'm kind of like him, the other guy. I try to do as much as I can myself. It was like last Saturday night or last week, I put a new gasket on my air compressor. Well, I sat out underneath the shade tree, even though it was 102 degrees, but I saved $100 and some an hour labor and did it myself. Well, didn't fix it, but I sat out in the parking lot, took it apart, cleaned it up, and did it again.
What about those fire ants?
It was 100 degrees and he saved $100, so it's $1 a degree.
But the thing is, I didn't save it because now I'm in the shop right now trying to figure out where that leak's actually coming from.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was $14 for the gasket, but I know that's not my problem. And I got a new gasket on there now. I did all the work myself. I try to do as much as I can myself and save that. But, you know, the part cost has gone up so much. It's everything.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
You might have to do the UV dye, injection in there and see if you can find it that way.
Oh, it's oil leak off the front of the motor. We're down to where we're thinking it's probably a valve gasket and hopefully not a head gasket. But okay. I'm waiting for a diagnosis right now on that. And it's just, you know, those little things that drive you crazy. But like I said, I try to do as much labor as I can. I'll do it out in the parking lot just like the other driver. And it's not beyond me to do that.
Yeah.
But I save a lot, but yet you still have a higher cost and everything.
You know, so we have guys that have brand new lease trucks on our fleet, and they're obviously, you have guys like, you know, me and Doty and Ray that have paid off trucks. What is that?
Ian's phone.
We have paid off trucks, but, and Mike, you've always said this, you know, if you really look at, yeah, we're saving a truck payment, you know, that's weekly or monthly or whatever, by having a paid off truck or, you know, or even a cheap monthly payment, but you've got an older truck, and if you compare it apples to apples, having a new lease truck, you're paying a, you know, whatever your weekly payment is, but you're under warranty. You don't have to worry about anything. It's brand new. You're probably paying the same amount of money over time, right, Mike? You've said this a million times.
It's probably close when you factor in everything, downtime, and, you know, because if you got an older truck, you're going to be down more, you know, with the lease trucks, they can get you in a truck, keep you rolling, that kind of thing. There's, you know, all your maintenance is covered, so you don't have to worry about that big repair coming around the corner. But I think overall, especially now with the fuel mileage, if you have a, you know, truck that's getting 5 miles to the gallon, and you can get in a newer truck that's going to save you 2 or 3 miles to the gallon, or, you know, 2 miles, something like that.
It's huge right now.
Yeah.
I have another aspect on that too, but so the way I'm looking at it too is I would never encourage anybody just to have get into a lease purchase program and that be your only truck. I mean, I would say that the lease purchase is a good option if you have like 2 or 3 other trucks running. And the reason why I say that though is because you're right. It's pretty close if you compare apples to apples as far as what after you're done with all the maintenance and your lease. But if it's your first truck, it could put you out of business with having that lease truck. But if you have a couple of other trucks back up that you've already got paid off and you get into lease, because from a tax standpoint, all of the maintenance that we're putting into trucks that we already own, you don't really get 100% of that deduction. It's only they only allow you so much deduction on all the parts and labor that you put into it. Versus a lease, it's 100% deductible. That for some reason that costs that you're spending on the lease is 100% deductible at the end of the year, versus parts and labor and everything. It's only a percentage you're allowed to deduct.
You only get depreciation on your equipment if you own the truck, right?
Exactly, and it's not that much
deductible.
Yeah, 100% deductible. So yeah, like I say, I mean, if it's your only truck, it could put you in a bad financial situation, because that truck could, you know, you may need the money now. And the beauty of having your own trucks is you pay the taxes on that at the end of the year, not every single week, and year after there. And
if you do have a paid for or a real low monthly truck payment or weekly, whatever that you're buying on your own, it's in your name. You know, and you make a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, whatever paycheck net, and you just take that money and you go live your life with that, and you don't put something aside, you're going to lose that truck. I mean, you know,
you'd be in square one with that too.
Yeah. And so, you know, when you do have, you know, like if you just go out and buy a new truck and you have whatever your payment is, it's going to be high. They're real expensive if you can get one, but it's under warranty. So you can keep more of what you take home. You don't have to worry so much. There is some peace of mind to that.
Yeah. You get some breathing room.
Right. But also, if you are in a full service lease truck or something, you got a $900 or whatever it is a week truck lease payment coming out, don't plan on taking a 2-week long vacation because you're going to be it's going to be behind the 8 ball. So
because they're getting their money first. Yeah,
Right.
they're getting their money first no matter what.
you own the truck or you're buying the truck, you have a little more freedom there. So
the best way I've found, honestly, to prevent yourself from doing what you said, which was, you get that $5,000-$6,000 paycheck and you take it and spend it all, is to have everything put into a company account that you're getting paid, or the company is getting paid, and then pay yourself out of that.
And live within your means. You got to live within your means.
Right. Yeah. Pay yourself, every week on Friday or whatever, like $1,100-$1,200, and then the rest of that money sits in the account because you don't, if you're out here and you don't have a house, you don't have a, house payment or bills stacked up like that. I mean, you can live, if you just have a car payment, a cell phone, you can live off $1,100 a week.
Easily.
And
you can save a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's your situation, and I was in that situation too when I was on the road.
There's a lot of guys who aren't, though, and they started living past their means, like you said.
There's a lot of guys, exactly, who have a wife, have kids, and then they start seeing those, the last few years when fuel was low, rates were high, and they're seeing $4,000, $5,000 checks week in, week out, and they start living like that's going to be there forever. I said it, guys, on this show a year ago. It's not, make hay when the sun's shining, that I'd be saving. And I was, because I knew, with the company drivers I only have a few of them, but I knew one day if things do kind of flip on us for a little bit, they're going to cost us, and, I'm not going to make anything. So, and we have been we've been in the red on the company drivers. I mean, I'm making sure they get paid. But in the long haul, will it balance out? Yes. I've been doing this long enough to know it will balance out. You got a good driver. He does a good job for you. You keep him paid, you keep moving forward. But, with $3,000 a week in fuel, who's making money? It's tough.
Yeah.
The fuel companies.
Yeah.
And we did, the last 2 years were the best 2 years probably in the history of trucking as far as, rates and money were concerned. So
is Tom still with us?
Yeah, he's
now. If you're hurting now, you're in for a world of hurt the next couple months or year, or if it gets worse. So
I'm gonna ask you about the market too, Tom. But Mike, I just checked out the DAT-IQ with those scientists again today, just to I haven't had a chance the last couple weeks, but I checked it out a couple days ago. Yesterday their show was on. They were basically saying that if we can get through the next month, you were going to see that. And I've said it. I guess I was thinking you get past the 4th of July, you start seeing that back to school push. You're going to see more things moving around. Volume's not that bad. That's the good sign.
Yeah.
And they said, and they probably got it down to a T. They're scientists at Freight, but he said typically give it a few weeks after the 4th of July. That's when you'll start seeing the volume even jump more, and you're going to see rates jump because you got the back to school stuff, and then you can ride that on into Christmas, so to speak. Tom, what do you think? You've been doing this a million years.
I think the same thing you do. And these brokers, we stick to them pretty hard. Last year, through the whole COVID thing, we all got to admit we did good. And they're getting even with us now. I mean, they couldn't keep paying us. When they got those contract rates that they got to get from their customer, they're only allowed so much per load. And here we're getting another $1.25 a mile per there because it was so busy. And right now, these brokers, I talked to a lot of guys at Megacorp and everything, and they said, yeah, we are under strict orders to stick it to you guys. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Because we all did pretty good. The reefer business was really good. The dry van stuff was awesome too. The flatbed market fell off, Now the flatbed market is a lot better than anything right now I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like my guys are all pretty happy, but
so the difference, Tom, the difference, and I'll let you continue, but the flatbed this week, the flatbed load to truck ratio nationally, 33.68 loads to one truck.
That's insane.
That's why, I mean, actually last year, if you remember me doing this on the show, this time last year, I think it was like, I don't know, 60, 70 loads to a truck, but it's still way better than reefer, 7 loads to one truck, van 3.75 loads to one truck nationally. So van and reefer are definitely down. And speaking of reefer, typically, Tom, and you're the expert on this, but isn't this week or next week, right around the 4th of July, is like the peak beginning of produce season?
Florida's done.
Yeah, they're at the end of it.
But I mean, not other than Florida. I'm talking about everywhere else. Isn't this pretty much where it really starts, and you got a lot of harvests and things?
Well, you got Michigan, that's starting to kick off, but it's weak. It's weak. The rates are not good. The Northwest is horrible. California's coming back around finally.
It is, yeah.
But it got really bad for about 8 weeks there. Cali just was, even on the dry van side, because I look at that stuff, it was real bad. But the flatbed market seems to be staying good. That's why I'm trying to get everybody into step decks. It's once we get these trailers ramped up with ramp kits and everything, you're so much more versatile getting these loads. I can't remember. I think Nate's about the only one that's had tarp loads. We've been lucking out.
But also, Nate's the only one that will tarp.
Kevin's like 10-4 on that.
I've hauled a few, but
Oh, I can't blame Kevin.
Well, I've actually considered going back to flatbed.
Yeah,
we got a few ride around with tarps in their trailers, but that's about it.
I mean, this is no secret. I'll put it out there. I love buying trucks, but we haven't bought a truck since the market changed. I tried ordering new trucks, can't get them. So we started buying trailers, and just recently we got 2 step decks, and we're getting them way cheaper than what we could lease them for. The leasing rates went up on them, and they're not. The lease ones aren't new. Tom, those lease ones are so raggedy, right? Just ask
Jesus.
Gary Wilson; he'll tell you.
Even Kevin's is a 2020. It's shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it eats tires up, the alignments out of it, and
it's probably that one Duhan had.
Yeah, it probably is. We're buying brand new ones, and we're not overpaying. I guess it just seemed like Tom came to me and said, "This is what we need to do. We're not buying trucks because they're overpriced." And in the leased equipment that we're getting is going way up on trailers. We can buy these step decks and we can get a reasonable price. He was looking it up, and he was right, and so I jumped on it. We got 2 and brand new.
4.
And we got 4, but the other 2 haven't hit the ground yet. And then we told the bank we need 4 more. We're buying these. I mean, it's going to save us. It's going to save our drivers. It's, we're getting brand new equipment behind them and a lot cheaper than these new lease rates on it. So, I mean, that's what we're doing. It just seems to make sense.
Are you talking about just flatbed step deck? So you talking about
we
dry van as well?
No, okay. I haven't bought any dry vans, and I looked into it, but they're sky high.
Yeah, they're a hot commodity.
I'm like, I told the bank that I would, but I can't buy them. Really, honestly, I don't think I can buy a new one for the price we're leasing them for. I don't think I can.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. Yeah,
and I looked, and Tom and I were looking, and I thought I could because someone told me that you could get some that down in South Texas brand new for $40,000, but I haven't seen it. Yeah, so I'm not even looking at those because our lease rates on them aren't bad.
You could probably get some in down South Texas for $40,000, but they ain't gonna have no VIN numbers on them
or titles. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, Border Patrol put them up on auction after a while.
Yeah. But yeah,
how about that truck they just found in San Antonio, right?
Whoa. We're getting to that.
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry.
He's got it on there.
Don't steal my thunder, guys.
All right, Florida man.
You're getting ahead of things.
Never heard of it. We don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, if anybody wants to know like kind of moves we're making, feel free to message Kumar or message the show. I'll fill you in. There's no shame in my game. This is what we're doing. You're welcome to, piggyback on that. I think we did really good on those trailers, don't you, Tom?
I do, and
the second two had ramp kits on them too. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm hoping the other 4. I'm bugging that poor bank guy every day to keep digging, and I'm going to find some more. Those Dorseys, I think we did really good on them.
Yeah.
Loaded up. The
Dorseys had ramp kits, and they were what? I don't know, 58.6?
But they was loaded up. They got all the big chain tie downs in the floor. They got the ramp kits. They're light.
They're building them right now. They said probably mid-July. So like Tom said, we'll probably get them in 3 weeks or so. Those second two. The first two, my rep from the bank got a hold of me and Tom and said, hey, we had 2 brand new step decks. They don't have ramps, but 2 brand new step decks. They're in Phoenix, and they were repo, and because they don't sell trailers or anything, they were at a Ritchie Brothers auction. He said they've never had a load on them. They were sold. The company never loaded them and missed their first payment, and the bank went and repoed them. So they're brand new. They sent us pictures. Tom and I looked at the pictures, and then we bought them sight unseen. I mean, it was $49,000. It was what do you think those were? New 65, Tom? Those are nice utilities.
Yeah.
Step decks.
Yeah. We'll do okay. Even if we put the ramp kits on them,
we're still $10,000. Yeah, we're well below what we'd have paid you.
About the same amount as we got those other ones.
So, and we're getting new equipment, so we're not paying more for a lease that's used and that is wore out. We're getting brand new stuff, and so we're going after the equipment that we can replace with cheaper equipment costs and give our drivers a chance to own it. Rather than never own it, rent it, So that's just something we're doing. Mike knows. Me and Mike have been talking about it too.
Hey, even if we got to buy, even if you were to buy a trailer that needs like bushings and things like that to rebuild it, it's still cheaper than leasing because with the lease truck they run them down to the ground.
Right.
The lease companies are not putting any money into these trailers as far as alignment, bushings, and just the real repairs that need to get done over time. They're not doing that. So that's where your cost effective is going out the window.
The one thing I will say too, when you're looking at stuff like this, when you're looking at equipment, whether it's truck or trailer, because Tom was sending me some really nice step decks that were, he found well taken care of, ramp kits, but they were like 14s, 15s. And the issue, and I told Tom after I talked to Bill at the bank, the issue is they won't finance those as long. So you might end up with a higher payment because it's a shorter term because of the year. So if you can handle that, you can do it. You could probably get a good deal. But I would rather buy brand new ones because I can get 5 years. I can get 60 months on them, and then we can get a really good payment. You get a better rate too, guys. When you're buying something, they go by the year and the for the term and the rate. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and you're not buying the problems of the lease companies or previous owner.
Right. So anyway, Tom, I'm glad that you joined us. You can hang on. Ian's going to get ready and go over some trucking news. And if you have to bail, Tom, I'll talk to you in the morning. Ian, you ready?
Okay. Bye. Take care of y'all.
Bye.
See you, Tom.
Nap time.
All right. Refresh this so this goes away.
I meant to ask him when cherries. Has cherries started coming out of Washington?
Yes. Started early this week, I think. Austin was telling me about them.
Yeah.
All right. First thing we got is This Week in History. 1969 on today's date, the 29th. The Stonewall riots began in New York City. So
Ian loves when we started that this week. When we started this week in history, he's never had a week yet that he hasn't had one. You love that, don't you?
It's my favorite thing.
I like it too. We're learning something.
All right. So over in Savannah, I think I counted there was like 39, 38 ships that are now waiting, which is like more than we've ever seen over there. Quite a bit. Los Angeles was not as crazy, even though that they're still reporting some pretty decent numbers compared to even last year. But they're just working better at getting them out of there. I think, there wasn't really too much else in any of the other cities along the coast. I think this is up in Norfolk area. There is quite a few sitting up there too. The big news for this week was the bodies that were found over in Texas. I think there was 16 survivors. It was a reefer unit, but as far as I'm aware, it wasn't running. It was just hot. Fortunately, I did see the demise of 50 innocent people there that were, just trying to find a better life. So hopefully we can see some changes in this country to help prevent this kind of thing and, see that's unnecessary. Over near Summit County, Utah, a truck turned over that was carrying bee boxes, which is really not good because we are already having a bee crisis in this world, and all these poor hives are just littered all over the highway now. They did get it cleaned up pretty quickly, but there were some people that experienced some injuries.
Stung?
Due to being stung, including the driver.
How'd he turn over?
Driving too fast. I don't know. It didn't get to that part.
Was he driving without his bee suit?
Bee probably got in the cab.
Well, you can. He's in Utah. There's some pretty curvy roads and hills there. If you're driving too fast, you can definitely flip over there.
Oh yeah,
definitely looks like his fault.
But I was gonna say on the bee thing. So, some people are allergic to bees and they swell up. My mom was, but I never was, and all my life I've been stung every summer. Do you remember this, Ian? It was a couple years ago. I was sitting on my front porch, and a bee's nest was in my shutter around the window, and I was on the phone and I got stung in the neck.
You got a little swelled up.
Yeah, the side of my head swelled up. It looked like a pumpkin on one side, and I didn't know why. I was like, why? I don't understand. I've been stung a million times. Well, you can become allergic. Later after so many bee stings.
Oh, and I think every time it happens, it gets worse and worse and worse.
Wow.
So next time
I avoid them.
Yeah, or if you get stung next time, you better take like a fistful of Benadryl.
Yeah.
So it's not a good summer for Russell unless he's stung by a bee.
Yeah. I used to never run. I wasn't worried about bees because I've been stung so much in my life. After that, the last 2 years, I haven't been stung. If I see a bee, I'm going the other way.
When that throat starts swelling up and it starts getting hard to breathe, it's like, what do I do?
Yeah. Do you remember me and Ian's friend, Aaron? He was on a hike one day, and he stepped over. Is that a hornets that live in the ground?
Yeah.
Yellow jacket.
Yeah, he stepped on a yellow jacket nest in the ground and was swarmed by bees. He threw his $200 sunglasses and just.
Did he get stung a bunch?
Oh, a ton. Yeah, he said it was probably the most terrifying thing he's ever experienced.
I don't think I was there.
I think
he would have had $300 sunglasses.
I think he lived. He's definitely scarred. PTSD. He won't go in the woods again.
I did the same thing with a lawnmower.
What'd you say, Nate?
I did the same thing with a lawnmower. I ran over a bee's nest with a lawnmower and took off across the yard because when the bees hit the lawnmower, they came out up from underneath the lawnmower on every side. They went straight up my shirt. So I was running across the lawn, ripping my clothes off.
With the lawnmower running?
That's one of my biggest fears,
with the lawnmower running.
Just running across the lawn. You got that yard cut really fast, huh?
And actually, I think it was last year. I was at Ian's brother's house, actually, and my dog, who's a little tiny corgi, he got into another hornet's nest in the ground, and I just see him running around the yard like a maniac. But then I noticed tons of little dots following him around, and he comes over to us and. All of a sudden, the garage is full of bees, and he's got bees stuck in his belly. Oh god!
He led all the bees to you, huh?
No, because I was trying to figure out what was going on, so I was calling him to me.
And his little ding dong got stung, didn't it?
It did.
Oh,
It
man.
did. Poor little boy.
dog.
He was okay though.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. On to some more news here. Tolls on some bridges between Indiana and Kentucky are getting an 8%. Or it's like 8% increase.
Oh, boy.
That means
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, right. Usually it's only like 2.5% per year, but I guess inflation was up this year. I don't know. I didn't hear
War on
anything about
truckers.
that. Well, this is for everybody. Well, I guess especially if you have more than one axle or more than two axles, so it keeps on going up. It's gonna be about $14.38 each time you guys cross the bridge now.
Wow.
All right, so this year they had a surprise brake safety day. It was April 27th. During that, they had about 9,100 inspections, and out of those, 14%, so about 1,290, almost 1,300 were out of service violations, so they took them off the road. So kind of scary to think that, that many vehicles are out there that don't have, good quality brakes or whatnot. That was kind of surprising. That was that high of a percentage that were taken out of service.
Ian, also on that note, we saw an email today from our safety person, Stacy. She said that we had a ton of guys. And I don't think any of on our fleet.
None of ours.
But guys that back child support. Some states will suspend your license, and they didn't even know it. So they were getting put out of service and shut down because they checked their license.
Yeah.
What were some of the other things? Do you remember?
That was really the main thing.
Was it the child support?
Yeah, and guys, just keep your eyes out and know what's going on with that.
When you got to self-cert your CDL, so you got to go get your physical.
You got to do that in Florida.
Yeah, you got to do that. I think in every state now, Mike, because you got to do it here too in Ohio. But so guys were going to do that, and then some states weren't. You got. I don't know. Mine's been good. Ohio's been good, but some states delay in time getting it to the DOT, I guess, because I got a letter in the mail. It said you've got to this date or your CDL is going to be suspended, and I had to go get my physical and go self-cert. So I did that, and I did it right away when I got that letter, so there was plenty of time. But if some states have a lag time before they report it, don't go on the last day when it says you're going to be suspended, because you probably will get suspended until they get that information.
It's not just that either. It's also there are some states that require you to have insurance on your license.
Yes.
And Florida is one of them. But if you let that insurance lapse, then they'll also suspend your license for that too.
So you're not talking. We have insurance on the trucks, but
no, I'm talking personal insurance. Yes.
Yeah. So Russ, if you have like Florida, if you don't have insurance, if you have a car registered in your name and you don't have insurance,
they'll suspend your license.
Yeah, they'll suspend your license. You have to have
That's how it is in New York too.
Yeah. So that was the couple of things: the renewed medical card, delinquent child support, and providing proof of personal vehicle insurance.
So it's probably general liability insurance on your personal car.
Yeah, like in Florida, you got to have PIP and liability, and if you have a car registered in your name and you don't have proof of insurance, they'll suspend your license.
So drivers, keep that in mind when you're out there and you get pulled into a weigh station, because those are some of the things they're looking for.
Yeah, and that 10-year-old federal warrant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened. One of the drivers we were trying to hire last year, where I was trying to hire on board, and he actually lost. They downgraded his CDL from a Class A to a Class C, because for the same reason, he has a vehicle parked in his driveway that he doesn't use because he's an over the road truck driver. So he let the insurance lapse, and they reduced his Class A down to Class C.
And the only way around that is to take your tag and turn it back in.
Oh, okay.
So
they know you're not on the road with a vehicle, personal vehicle that doesn't have insurance.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Ian, back to you.
Yeah, got a couple.
Glad I'm in Texas.
And just so you guys are aware, they are having a brake safety week scheduled for August 21st through the 27th. So try and get your brakes looked at before then, just to make sure you're all set and don't have any issues once that week starts.
Yeah, and then there's also one coming up. July 10th? There's a blitz.
Here, yes, that is Operation Safe Driver Week is July 10th through the 16th.
So looking
they're
for
happening
weaving,
more frequently, huh?
not staying in your lane, speeding, stuff like that.
Yeah, and this is for commercial and passenger vehicles. So keep an eye out there. An Eagle Scout saved the life of a truck driver. He had flipped his. See, I don't have a picture. Maybe there's video here. He had flipped his truck, and an Eagle Scout was nearby. He was hauling some sawdust. He jumped out of his vehicle, ran over, and started busting the windows on the truck open. But fortunately,
is that the truck right there under the sawdust?
No, I think that's just it was a lot of sawdust, guys.
I don't see a truck.
I don't have a picture of it, unfortunately. Maybe Matt can find one.
That's Mackie, isn't it?
Beard's too short.
But yeah, the driver ended up getting conscious and started kicking out the windshield himself. So they got him out of there, and he provided first aid for him because he was a little cut up until the first responders got there. So that's pretty awesome.
That is.
Yeah, good on that guy. Go on this DAC report.
And then this is something. This is something I thought that we wouldn't be seeing for a while, but the Fed has approved for trying out this driverless, cabless truck.
It's like a garbage truck.
And so there is no driver, not even a spot for a driver. Yeah, just basically motor, fifth wheel,
electric,
and trailer.
It's like an Autobot.
Yeah.
Stand up and
So it says that they will be running on public roads.
When?
They're approved to start, I think, late summer 2022. Yeah.
Like testing them out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I had said before.
Because they didn't build it for fuel mileage. I think there's no aerodynamics.
Yeah. So that goes back to what I had said before. That if you think about it, every truck right now is built with the driver in mind for comfort, and if you take the driver factor out of it, I mean, there could be no. They can do it in so many different ways. No air conditioning, no cab. You can gain so much fuel mileage on it, and it'd be made a lot different and probably a lot cheaper too.
So what do you got? A dispatcher sitting in an office somewhere, you on the computer, just kind of monitoring where it's going, and then
max speed.
Your shift is over. Another guy sits in and takes it for the next 8 hours.
Probably like air traffic control.
Yeah.
What is that? All battery in the back of it, or what?
I'm not sure. There was something
like
I did take away from this article. It says, we know the autonomous and electric technology of our pod will not only revolutionize transportation, but also create thousands of jobs and help America stay competitive.
In what? Just wondering, manufacturing?
Yeah. I mean, by taking people out of the equation, they're adding more jobs. It's just... Yeah.
Sounds right.
They take the governor off that thing. It's too slow.
And just so you know, if you're a vase, you're very safe from those things.
That's great.
All right. That's what I got for you guys. I might cut out here to help Austin.
You're good.
He's got some help with some things.
You got to broker a load too. So thanks, Ian. Thanks for the news.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. I'm not so fascinated with driverless trucks, but I told you guys before, I am intrigued by the electric Tesla semi. I can't wait to see one. And that's not a driverless. There's a driver in it, but and like we've talked about before, and I'm sure that you've seen it on our TikToks. But you can go to Tesla's website, you can go to YouTube, and you'll see it. But like you guys said, it's going to take time to have the infrastructure at truck stops where you could plug in when you park at night, so you can have the range.
Yeah. Well, and I was thinking about that here recently because there's a guy in Canada that's actually building an electric drive truck that he's an engine for the supply. So
that's what Mike brought up, having an diesel powered APU to recharge the batteries.
Well, yeah, basically. it's recharging the batteries and the engine supplying the power to the electric drive. I mean, it takes out, because you can get so much torque out of electric drive versus what we're getting out of what we have now.
Yeah.
So that's what he's doing, and he's actually building it from scratch.
That's one thing I have not been able to understand for several years now, why they haven't taken the technology of the trains that have been running for so many years to the highway, which, if you look at it, it's a decent.
Jim, I think we lost you.
And I don't understand why we haven't got that on the road yet.
Yeah. So, Jim, say that again, because it's something froze, but it was it's a diesel
train technology, which is a diesel engine with electric drive, and why they cannot bring that to the truck, which in turn would decrease the amount of horsepower that's needed to run the electric. It would save fuel in the long run. You could take your motor size by one-fourth of the size to power the generators to supply your electric drivetrain. I mean, there's a lot of fuel economy, I feel, that is they're missing out on.
I agree.
By not using the train technology.
I agree with not using the train technology. And also, Jim, can we use the train engineers' hats, too? So when we're going down the road, I really like those hats since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
We're missing out on that, too.
Hybrid technology.
They get a little bit warm in the summertime, but yeah, they're nice.
As long as every truck comes equipped with train horns from here on out.
Yeah. That's great. Joel, let's go over some sports, and we'll get into some questions with Kumar. We can make Christian pay no matter what this week because he's on vacation, and we'll make it double, $40.
Well, I want to know about this locomotive technology. Wait, no, I'm kidding. You want me to do sports in June?
Yeah.
All right.
You can go through it real quick.
All right, sports in June. But first, what's up, guys? It's me, Joel Howe, and I'm back again.
And you know what, guys? I mean, we've probably talked about this a year or so ago, but we do sports on this trucking show because Joel and I are huge sports fans, and when we were out on the road, you miss so much that when you're trying to keep up, especially in the fall and the winter, because we liked a lot of football and basketball, but we just try and throw it in there for sports fans that are on the road and working all the time. So you might just hear something that, you didn't know. And I know these days you can find it on all kinds of apps, but when you're driving 600-700 miles a day, you can listen to our show on Spotify, and Joel will tell you the sports.
All right. For those of you who care about sports. But first, this day in history. Back in June 29th, 2007, Apple released the first iPhone for sale.
In 2007?
Yeah.
Wow. I remember, do you guys remember when those came out?
Yeah. Yep, I bought one.
I had a Go phone.
There was a girl in my class when I was in, I think it was like middle school, and she got one. She went to the midnight release, and everybody hated her for it because she was the only person in the whole school with an iPhone.
Yeah, I went from a Motorola Razr to an iPhone.
Oh man, that's quite a step up.
Totally skipped the BlackBerry.
I didn't get a Dodie. Do you have an iPhone, or are you an Android guy? iPhone. So I didn't get an iPhone until probably 2015 or 16. I always had an Android, and I didn't really know the difference. And then you remember, Ray? And I switched, and I happened to text Tina because she had an iPhone. I just sent her a quick text in the middle of the day, and she texted me back, "You got a new iPhone?" And I'm like, "How did you know?" And she goes, "Because of the bubbles."
Yep, the bubbles in blue.
Yeah, it was funny.
It's important, very important.
But it took me a week or so to figure out the difference, and man, I will never look back. I'll always have an iPhone.
Yeah,
I think the same way.
Yeah, I was the same way.
Ian,
once I switched.
Ian is holding on to the Android for dear life still.
I know. He's the only one in our
Ian's
office.
not the only one.
Oh, really?
Nate.
Yeah, he's the only one in our friend group with it. And
Yeah,
so he doesn't get included on the group chats because we don't like green text around here.
And when you first make the switch, it's like, man, this iPhone sucks because it's not the same operating system. You got to get used to it.
Yeah.
But once you get used to it, they really have simplified it and kind of
way better,
user friendly.
Yeah, my wife too, man. My wife she was all Android because she was, in her mind, she was saving money on the phone.
Yeah.
And after about 7-8 months of dealing with that phone, she's just ready to throw that thing in the trash. And I got her an iPhone and she was happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I like is how it links like the Apple TV that like when I get a new phone, I can just log right into all my Apple device, all the devices, everything's right there. I'm sure
the
Android has
iPad,
the same
because
thing.
I recently got an iPad a year or two ago, and I didn't even do it. I didn't even know that happened, but all my stuff from my phone ended up on as soon as I started using the iPad, I was signed into all YouTube and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, PSA, watch out for that. Somebody you don't want to see seeing your text might be looking at your text.
Yeah.
Well, I think I went from a 6 to a 13 this year.
So it was hell trying to get Joel to upgrade his phone.
I was holding on to that too.
He had a 6 and it's so little, and finally we got him to upgrade. But same thing. Joel's a creature of habit. Same thing with his laptop here at work. He's had the same one for years. And we told him, Ian told him, we'll get you a new laptop, get you something, nice, state of the art. Joel's like, oh, no.
I'm still waiting on it. What do you mean?
He's like, no, I just got this figured out. All my stuff it'll take me forever.
He changes oil in that thing every 20,000 miles.
He does.
Still great.
40,000.
He got it deleted a few years ago. So he's
drilled a hole in it. All right.
So anyway, go ahead, Joel.
All right, y'all. Yes, that is true. Back to sports in June. All right, so NFL training camp is to start next month. No real stories there except for every team's soap opera, some more so than others. Former NFL running backs Adrian Peterson and Le'Veon Bell to have a boxing exhibition this weekend. That should be pretty cool.
Is that on TV?
Somewhere. You'll find it.
Okay.
Probably streaming.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll watch that.
Staying in football. Over in the USFL, up till now, all the games were played in Birmingham, Alabama. Until last weekend, we had the final 4 teams for the playoffs in Canton, Ohio, for your championship game this Sunday.
Hall of Fame Stadium.
Birmingham Stallions versus Philadelphia Stars this Sunday, 7:30, Canton, Ohio, Hall of Fame Stadium. And that will be your USFL season until next month, and the NFL starts. Yay.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm ready.
Over to the NHL. Congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche, who finished off Mike's Tampa Bay Lightning 4-2 in the best of 7. Their 3rd cup since 1995. Congrats to them. Happy offseason. Over to the Major League Baseball in the American League East. New York Yankees still on top in the bigs at 55-20.
Crushing it. And I hate Yankees.
In the Central, Minnesota back in first place, 43-34. Now West, Houston still maintains at 46-27. Over the National League East, New York Mets still on top, 47-28. In the Central, Milwaukee Brewers with 43-33 record. Out west, LA Dodgers still holding top spot, 45-28. College World Series. Congratulations to the Ole Miss Rebels, who swept the Oklahoma Sooners 2-0 on Monday in Omaha, and that concludes their season. Congratulations to them. Over in golf, starting tomorrow, John Deere Classic over in Silas, Illinois. A $7.1 million purse. PGA play in the top 5, still at 5th spot, Justin Thomas. 4th spot, Colin Monaco. Number 3, Roy McIlroy. Number 2, John Rahm. And number 1, Scott Scheffler, the top spot.
Hey, Joel, so speaking of golf, when does the Live Golf start? Do you know?
I don't even know how to pronounce it. Is it live?
I think I don't know either, but LIV, whatever, live live, because they're just dropping from the PGA like flies, man. They're signing with this Live Golf because they're just throwing all kinds of money at them.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'll get it. I'll get
yeah.
More
Find
on that
out. Let
next
us
week.
know.
Let you know what's up with that.
Yeah, curious.
All right. Over NASCAR last week, the race down in Nashville. Chase Elliott was your winner. This Sunday, we got at 3 p.m. on the 3rd, Road America Quick Trip 250 from Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Top 5 spots at number 5, Denny Hamlin in the 11 Toyota Gibbs FedEx. Number 4, William Byron. Number 24, Chevy Exalta Hendricks Motorsports. Number 3, Joey Logano, the 22 Ford Shell Pennzoil Penske Racing. Number 2, Ross Chastain, the number 1 Chevy. Dropped the spot. Advent Health with Truck Live Racing. And number 1, Chase Elliott. Number 9, Chevy Napa Hendricks Motorsports. This Saturday, July 2nd, out in Las Vegas, we have some MMA action. We have 12 fights on the card. Kumar, about that main event, can you help me out there?
Yeah.
What do you know about that?
Okay, so Israel Adesanya is fighting against Jared Cannonier. Both very good fighters, but Israel Adesanya is pretty elite compared to everybody else, really, especially in the middleweight division.
Only one loss, right?
Yeah, and that was in the light heavyweight division, so that didn't even really affect his standings in the middleweight division.
All right.
So yeah, he's still the champion.
So I'll take him. You take the other guy?
No. Yeah, the odds are definitely in Adesanya's favor on this one. And I'll just run through this real quick. Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway. Volkanovski's the champion of the featherweight division, and the odds for him winning are negative 190 to Holloway's plus 160. I would pick Volkanovski. And just another notable fight, I always like Sean O'Malley. He's going against Pedro Munoz, and I slate him to win, and the odds are also in his favor. So there's that.
So, and speaking of sports this weekend, my cousin Jeffrey and I put
my cousin Benny.
Yeah, my cousin Jeffrey and his wife Kelly are up from Nashville. They got an RV, and their son and daughter, Emmett and Ava, both race BMX bikes. So there's a race in Akron, and people come, like professional BMX bikes racers. They come from all over the world, Japan, Australia, you name it. So it's a big event. There's all kinds of RVs out there. So we're going to go over there Thursday night and see him, but he races Saturday and Sunday, and I think Ava might be racing. She's got a broken bone or something.
Where's that at, Russ? Barberton Speedway?
I'm not sure. I got the he sent me the information, but so we're going to go see him race this weekend. That'll be cool. So good luck, Ava, and hope you get to race, and good luck, Emmett. This dude's a little bad. I'm sorry. That's 2 times on one show. Air horn. But Emmett he's so cool, man. He's a little dude. He's been racing since he's probably like 3, since he could walk almost. And I put a video up on our channel before. You guys might have seen it, didn't you? I think we did.
Yeah, I think we did a while ago.
Or we shared it on a show. But he's just, it's going to be cool to see him. So, and Jeff checks out the show all the time. And so, hats off to you, Emmett and Ava. Hopefully you guys can bring home the gold or whatever you get, the BMX.
The golden bike.
Yeah. All right. So trucking questions and fishing questions with Kumar.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So
all right.
Let's go. Mike, what do you think? We give Christian the Kumar, and then we'll take the drivers and we'll make it for $40. So hopefully, let's just say we'll take the drivers, but either way, Christian pays. Everybody's in agreement. We took a vote, so Christian, you got to deal with it for the St. Jude's fund. Okay. Let's do it, Joel.
Kumar, what's up?
Yo.
What's up, guys? Here we go. Question number 1. Before attempting to put out an engine fire, A, the hood should be open. B, the engine should be turned off. C, the accelerator should be depressed to use up the remaining fuel. Or D, the air brakes should be on. Before attempting to put out an engine fire, Kumar.
There's a lot of good answers for that.
So Kumar's against our drivers that are on the show.
Have to make it a little.
He knows nothing about trucking, but he's learning. He's learning. We used to say that.
Let's see. See, I want to say you would open the hood, but also I feel like you got to turn the truck off.
So what are you gonna say?
Well, first of all, I guess we would have to turn the truck off. So I'll do that one. B, right? B.
Turn the truck off. Joel, can you give the drivers the answers again?
Yeah.
Read it.
The hood should be open. The engine should be turned off. The accelerator should be depressed to use up the remaining fuel.
I like that one.
D, the air brakes should be on.
Ray, Jim Mackey.
Well, they're all good answers, but you know what? No matter what, you better set your brakes.
Well, that's true. You don't want it rolling.
That's
what do you
right.
say?
That's the very first thing.
You guys agree?
Shit, I don't know. Okay, so do the question one more time.
Before attempting to put out an engine fire, A, the hood should be open. The engine should be turned off. The accelerator should be depressed to use up the remaining fuel, Russ. Or D, the air brakes should be on.
You got to pull your brakes. I mean, I'm with you, Jim.
Man. I mean,
Kevin,
but I don't want it to
like
be
at
one
that
of these
point, you
common
already
sense
done that,
questions where it's like you've already done that anyways,
Yeah.
you know? So
Well,
I'm going to go with the engine should be off. I mean,
What'd you
we
say,
all got to
Kevin?
agree, right?
You all got to agree. Kevin, what you said something. I couldn't hear you.
Well, I mean, I was going with the engine should be off. So, but I
Me
don't
too,
know.
because I'm assuming that the pulling the brake is obvious. You know, it should be common sense, but I don't know if I
Yeah.
could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ray.
But Joel made up these answers. I would not assume that.
Oh.
So you guys come to a consensus. Jim, talk some consensus into him.
Well, I'm outvoted.
Okay.
I'm still sticking with what I say, but I'm outvoted.
But just keep this in mind, Ray. If you guys answer the same thing as Kumar, he wins. Because you guys are truckers. You get the experience. I mean, you have
So
the
then I'll
experience.
go with Jim then. I'll just go with
Well,
Jim.
I'm just throwing it out there.
No, you're right though, because I mean, at least it looks like it's a good question for all of us anyway. So I mean, if
I
we
think
can't line
Kumar
up, we
got
can't
it
line up.
anyways.
Yeah, me too.
I'll go with
Me
Jim
too.
also.
Me too.
Okay.
Just that way
Yeah.
we got a different answer.
They're
too.
going
I'll line
with
up
you
with
got to
Jim.
pull the brakes, and I'm with Jim on this too. What do you say, Doty, before he answers? You're on our side.
Mike's off,
You're muted.
or he's just being really silent.
torn
next.
because
I kind of agree. I think the brakes are the common sense thing, but I think you
Mike
pull the
says,
brakes,
jam
though.
the fuel pedal until all the fuel's
Yeah.
expelled. Okay, Joel.
Hop out and just
Run.
watch it burn while you're on hold with the insurance company.
Right. Correct answer is get out and run. Do that.
The roof.
No, the answer on here, that switched it around on me. The engine should be turned off.
What about the brakes, though? Then it's going to roll.
I just made that up. There's only three
You got a
answers. I threw a
fireball
fourth one
rolling
in.
down the
Okay, so 1-0 Kumar. Wow, Joel, you really disappointed me on that
Oh, well,
question.
The wind as it rolls down the hill.
Hey, you
will
would have been
blow
your
out the
hero.
At least when it's rolling, the engine's off.
Yeah, fireball rolls downhill.
Hey, Ian.
fire. He's not here.
Oh, I was going to ask him if he heard about the truck carrying honey that spilled on the highway.
I bet he didn't.
Bears are on the scene fast. Question number 2. As the truck was turned over and the bees were flying when he was doing the news. All right, question number 2. Kumar, what color is a lobster in its natural habitat? Is it A, red and white, B, pink and spotted, C, black and blue, or D, emerald green?
Black and blue.
We're not talking about fights. We're talking about fighting.
So he says black and blue.
Black and blue.
Blue on black. All right. What do you
fishermen
out there
Ray,
say?
you've had a lot of lobster in your life. What color are they when they're alive in their natural habitat? You can consult
What are the
with your.
choices again?
Read the choices, Joel.
Red and white, pink and spotted, black and blue, or emerald green.
Nobody knows. I win.
I'm gonna go. So this is for us now, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with emerald green.
Yeah, I was going to go with emerald green also.
I agree.
Kumar, are you?
Dodie, you have an idea? You're around these all the time, probably.
I don't know. I've actually been when I was young, but lobstering down in the Keys. But
Yeah,
I want
there
to
is.
say
Different kind of lobster. They're smaller. It's
I wanna
rock
say
lobster.
I want to say pink and spotted, and then red and white once you boil them. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, look no further than to ask Kumar, who knows everything. It is black and blue. How'd you know that?
really,
So I can just look right to it.
I tried to think about what they
Yeah, I
look like
guess
in
I
the
can
tank at
picture
Giant
that.
Eagle.
That's what
Yeah.
it is. All right. That's
But I will say the ones, because I was in the
pretty
Keys in April on my birthday, I will say that's a different kind of lobster down there in South Florida. And I think they were like pink and spotted.
right. So that don't count.
Okay.
Kumar.
I think
We'll take that away from you.
the lobsters in Florida also smoke meth.
Your vacation experiences don't count
That
here.
was a driver in Texas that did that.
Okay. 2-0 Kumar.
All
Joel.
right.
Let's go.
But first, what's a fish's favorite TV show?
What?
Name that tuna. All right. Question number 3. Here we go. An empty truck, A, requires a shorter stopping distance than a full truck. Or B, requires a longer stopping distance than a full truck. Or D, they take about the same distance to stop as a full truck. We're talking empty
Versus
an empty
loaded.
truck here.
An empty
Kumar.
truck.
Yeah.
It take longer to stop, shorter to stop, or the same?
Shorter to stop than a loaded.
Shorter to stop. Ray, Jim Mackey,
Longer.
Kevin, Nate.
Longer.
It's
Longer.
longer to stop. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
longer.
going to say longer.
I'm going to say longer.
Yes, it is longer. What'd you say, Kumar?
He said shorter.
Oh, thank you. Finally. I thought we were gonna
2-1.
Wait.
2-1.
So how's that work?
Empty trucks
Because
have less traction.
Oh.
Yeah, because the suspension on an 18-wheeler is built to haul its max payload.
And Joel used
And-
this
and
question
stop
about
with that, too.
13 months ago.
It's
It was one of the
13 months
questions.
So if the driverless truck is empty and you're at base, definitely,
Look out.
yeah,
Yeah.
might hit you.
It'll take longer.
Right. And did you hear about the Jolly Green Giant getting crushed in a shipment?
No.
He died in peace. Question number 4. What is the most popular species of fish to keep as a pet? Is it A, a betta? Is it B, a guppy? C, a goldfish? Or D, an angelfish?
It's a beta. It's a beta.
A Betamax.
So they
Beta Max.
They get along well, huh?
No, they don't.
I
It says a
have,
beta. Y'all don't know anything about
I have a
goldfish.
fish tank, and I have none of those.
You have none of
I'll go
those?
with goldfish.
He has a jellyfish.
Goldfish, Ray says. Kevin, Nate,
I'm
Matt.
going to say
Goldfish.
goldfish.
I agree
Yeah,
too.
goldfish.
Y'all wrong.
Peanut butter and
Y'all
jellyfish?
wrong.
Because when you walk in a pet store, that's all you see is a tank of orange, solid orange.
But you go to like the checkout line. You got a bunch of beta fish on the shelf. So
What is it, Joel?
All right, 2-2. It's goldfish.
Yes.
what? Oh,
Yeah.
Right, that's right.
All right.
That's right.
For the win.
Yeah. And do you know where fisherman got his hair cut?
where?
The barber shop. All right. Sorry, guys. Question 5, it'll be over.
Great.
All right, Kumar. When should a driver sign a vehicle inspection report? Is A, after every trip. B, after each fueling. C, if noted defects are repaired. Or D, after every pre-trip.
After every pre-trip.
Drivers. There's gonna be some disagreement about this. I already know.
After every trip.
Well, it's the same thing almost.
Okay.
Because you got to do a pre-trip to
Jim,
do the trip.
let's go around the room here.
You
Jim.
want the answers again?
Right?
Yeah.
I'll go with Ray.
After every trip. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with Ray after
Really?
every trip at the end
Vehicle
of the day.
inspection report. After every trip, after each fueling, noted defects are repaired after every pre-trip.
Nate, what do you say?
After every pre-trip you do.
I say, what do you say, Mike? I think you
Well,
know.
I think it's going to be something about noted defects.
Yes, it's after noted defects.
After any,
Mackey's about to argue this one. You watch.
That'll be the topic of next week's show.
You know, the thing is when we had paper logbooks, you only signed the logbook at the end of your day or end of your trip.
Right.
That is when you did it.
But on your e-logs,
I agree.
You don't sign your DVIR. You just fill out that everything's okay, and you don't sign it unless there's noted defects. That's where he's coming up with this, basically from an e-log.
I should have listened to the way that it was worded, because the way it's worded, if you'd really paid attention, you would have known to pick that
So
one.
neither one of them got it, right, Joel?
No.
Give them a fishing question. Mike, you got one? Anyone?
But the DVR does have a spot to note if there is no defects as well, so it still has to be done at the
All right,
each
I got
day.
a fishing question.
You got a fishing question?
Yeah. All right. From that to this, how many different species of fish are on Earth? A.
Oh God.
Over 10,000. B. Over 20,000. C. Over 30,000. Or D. Over 60,000.
Well, the way you're wording this, it's gonna be over 10 because you know what I mean. Unless, so
Okay,
we'll just say closer to 10.
Around 10, around 20, around 30, around 60.
So I have to say 60.
That's a lot of fish, Kumar.
There's a lot of fish in the sea. That's what they say.
Mackie.
That's what I was gonna say too. So I guess I have to go with the lesser one of that one.
What was the one down?
Over
30. Right?
Over 30. Around 30.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, you have a guess? I mean, Mr. Fisherman, fish stalkers.
No clue. I guess not. I'd go with the 60.
Yeah, me too. 60. I think there's got to be a ton.
All right. Well,
what is it?
It's around 30.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Drivers win.
All right.
All right.
Either way,
okay.
Christian
Thank
paid
God
anyways.
Kumar had the answer first.
Nice. One last thing.
This week, go ahead, Joel.
Did you hear about the lost shipment of Viagra?
Oh, God.
What about it?
Well, now hardened criminals are on the loose. Never mind. Sorry.
We're keeping that in.
All right. So anyway, guys, it was a fun show. Don't forget the fishing contest. Like I said, happy birthday, CJ Sneed. He's out fishing while they're on vacation. And Jim Mackey this Friday. We appreciate you guys. Well, we appreciate you, Jim, and we are proud of you, CJ. He doesn't work here, but happy birthday, CJ and Christian. We missed you this week. Enjoy your vacation. Dodie, you got anything else before we get out of here?
No.
We got to get Christian on this 4:30 thing. This was really nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Hour and a half show. It's
Yeah.
6. We're out.
Yeah. So, Ray, thanks for being on screen. Mackie, Ray, Nate, Kev, keep the shiny side up. Every driver out there. And look, it's a tough time in trucking, but we'll get through this. We've been here before. We just do the smart things that we can control. So with that.
Hey, one more thing.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow.
TikTok.
On TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter if you're on there, but we don't really use that much. Talkin Truckin, no G's.
That's right. With that, go Browns, go Guardians, and go Cavaliers.